Good afternoon, everyone, and I welcome you to our today's live interview with Max, CEO at Bloomio. He's going to tell us about what it is like to develop an equity crowdfunding platform and what it is to operate it in 2018. Now, what's more important is that we are going to talk about the implementation of the blockchain in equity crowdfunding. Hello, Max.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Hi, everyone.
Yeah, now I believe, well, everyone knows we are preparing for our summit, which is going to happen on the 23rd, 24th of November. I welcome all of you there. Please join us, come attend us. Yes, we're going to share a whole load of expertise, and Max is going to help us with that. One of the major points is basically how we match the traditional equity market and crowdfunding markets with the blockchain development and how we enhance it with the blockchain. Max, could you please tell us about Bloomio, how you started, how you came up with the necessity to introduce blockchain to your business?
Okay, we started a bit more than 1 year ago, and when we started, we looked into crowdfunding area, and we saw a lot of companies there already. For sure, we are not the first crowdfunding platform, but unlike any other crowdfunding platform, what we wanted to do, we wanted to stay between investors and startups for longer, and this is how we invented our business model. When startups, when they come raising money from the crowd, in fact, Bloomio will invest this money into a startup, and at the same time, Bloomio will give you crypto tokens. And the nature of a crypto token is the following: any liquidity from a startup that is collected by Bloomio, this liquidity must be distributed between token holders. So, in fact, token holders they own all the profits from the startup that is owned by Bloomio. And in this model, we can offer also some trading facilities because token holders, they can exchange their tokens, but we protect startup from a lot of paperwork, just because for a startup, they still have just one investor in Bloomio. This is how it works in short.
Mm-hmm. Well, and then you mentioned your own crypto token. What's I see what the function of it is. What's the market value? How do you decide? How do you define the market value of this token?
The market value, first of all, initial value is decided simply once you finish your crowdfunding campaign. You see some value for your startup, and this is the starting price for your token. And then our startups will provide some KPIs. They requested to provide quarterly KPIs about their business. These KPIs could be a number of visitors of their website or some revenues, etc. And based on those KPIs, token holders can see if startup market value grows or goes down, and we will have just a free float market for our tokens.
So you do obtain quarterly reports from the ventures and startups, and you do that with the traditional marketing tool set.
Actually, no, it will not be a traditional tool set. It will be simplified because in our system, startup will be able to provide these KPIs in our web interface. So,
but let's say I, as one of the investors, will immediately have an access to all of those reports, so I can see what's going on with the venture.
Yes. Or if you own a token in this startup, you will be able to see all the information reported by the particular startup.
I see. Just one second. We have a question from the chat which says, I'm sorry, but the thing is that we are probably not currently elaborating on healthcare insurance, but do you have any in the pool of the ventures and startups that you have while working on the Bloomio platform, do you have anything to deal with healthcare insurance?
Actually, we are free for any startup. We haven't started active marketing campaign for our platform yet, but still we have already around 30 startups listed on our platform. We do not target specifically this or another industry. We are open for any industries. So if this insurance startup comes to us, so we could support it.
Well, then my other question would be, so in case, in case, I mean, I just have to probably give a note to that. It's like I used to work in ISO crowdfunding for quite a while, and the main deal was basically that most startups right now, or at least in the last couple of years, they prefer to issue their own cryptocurrencies like tokens or probably even coins. Now, what's the story with Bloomio? If, like, let's say I have an ICO coming, or like if I have a token offering in the business model of my project, how do I cooperate with Bloomio? Do I swap your tokens for mine, or do I just avoid the token sale on my side and I just utilize the powers of your platform? What's the right way to use it?
For a startup, we look like a traditional venture capital fund. So you just need to offer some equity. If you do in parallel some ITOs and issue utility tokens, it's up to you. It isn't related anyhow to our relationship with you, because we just take real equity.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that means that, well, let's say out of the 30 startups pending on the platform you mentioned, do you have any tokenized business models there already?
Yes. There are, I would say, traditional startups without any blockchain in their business model, and there are tokenized startups as well. So, because we actually do not care about your business model a lot. You just need to generate money and to have good business model that potentially would be appealing for our crowd investors.
Well, but for the ISO market, the question of obtaining liquidity is currently the main struggle. So they could use you as the provider of liquidity for their business, regardless of their business model. But speaking about tokenized businesses, do you see any trend towards, or let's say outwards, the utility token? Do you see any drift to any other tokenized model, like let's say security token offerings or whatever it is, but not utility? Is it becoming the next trend?
That yes, I can agree with you here, because I personally an investor, and I am investing in different bonds or shares. And I personally, as an investor, do not like utility tokens, just because the value of those tokens are a bit artificial. This is why my preference as an investor to invest into something tangible, and security tokens is the way to do that. This is why I think that probably in future security tokens with the real underlying assets will prevail.
Well, then what's stopping the market from going from transforming all the security models to the blockchain? If we have advantages, if we have transparency, if we have trust, why is it still pending? Is it the regulatory issue, or is it just the market not being global yet? What's the big deal?
Actually, I wouldn't say it is pending. It is transforming step by step, and regulators are learning how to deal with that. and we see first security tokens in Switzerland already, and we are currently in talks with Maltese regulator at the moment, and they are ready to improve our business model. So they're learning how to do that. I wouldn't say they do not want to do that. They do want. They just need to find ways how to deal with the security tokens, because with security tokens you fall into some traditional securities law that they have already, and they just need a way to apply this law to this new reality. And it could take time, but for sure they will be able to do that.
Mm-hmm. Well, on the side of Bloomio, apart from providing the platform and providing the report system, do you actually provide any other services to the startups that join you? Do you guide them in terms of regulatory consultancy, legal support, business development? Do you advise them on how to develop their markets?
Yes, actually, what we have a board of independent experts. These are top guys from different industries, top managers from different industries. These guys will do due diligence of our startups. At the same time, startups will have startup founders will have direct access to these guys, and they will be able to ask for advice in any area. And plus, some of those experts might want to become mentors for this or another startup. So what we want to bring to a startup, we want to bring some smart money, not just cash from the crowd.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so basically what we are looking at now is that it's not going to be a transformation of the market, as many people yelled in hype like a couple of years ago, but it's going to be the merge of the traditional stock market and equity market with the functionality of the blockchain to provide transparency, speed, and reduce costs.
Sure. For example, in our case, we could do all this functionality without blockchain at all. But with blockchain, it is easier to do, just because, for example, let's take a startup and thousands of investors in this startup. To do that a traditional way, you will have some nightmare with the paperwork for this thousand to keep track of these 1,000 investors. But if we move for all this register or to the public ledger, and if this ledger is recognized by regulators, in this case, our life becomes much easier. We can go paperless from that moment, and all transactions are more efficient and more cost effective.
The cost effectiveness and the speed and the overall transparency is still highly reliant on the particular technical issues that are anyway linked to the protocol. So what protocol are you utilizing now, and do you find it perfectly fit for your business solution, or are you considering developing something else or somehow modifying it in the future?
For us, blockchain is just a public database. So currently we use Ethereum, but we can switch to any other blockchain if it is needed. So we do not we are not fans of one particular blockchain or another. For us, this is just a technical stuff. Like for example, you can use traditional database, Microsoft SQL, or you can use Oracle, and you can select from what is best for you. The same is for blockchain. Right now we are using Ethereum, and but it could change if needed.
But are there any drawbacks of that, or is it perfectly fine for the time?
It is okay. The drawbacks probably costs sometimes could be not not so low as we would expect it, transaction costs. But overall, it is fine.
Mm-hmm. Well, we will actually also host representatives of the major protocols at our summit. And one of the questions I would like to address to basically everyone is which consensus model is necessary. I would definitely like if business representatives like your company would also share their expertise on that at the summit. If you could also, like raise a question on the technical issues, or let's say on your business-wise expectation of what the blockchain shall develop to.
Actually, I honestly do not really like proof of work concept. I do not like a lot of energy consumed by blockchain, and I would prefer this database to be more energy efficient. And so, if blockchains will use some other protocols, I would prefer these other blockchains. But overall, as I said, we do not care a lot what is inside the blockchain, how it is implemented, because what we just use some functionality out of it.
I see. Well, I believe that covers a whole lot, and I hope you've got another whole lot left for the summit. So I'm really glad that you're taking part in our summit, and welcome you to be our guest and speaker on November 23rd, 24th in Basel. So
Thank you very much.
do you have any expectations of what of who do you think shall be the audience of the summit now in 2018?
For our business, ideally, these are startup founders and investors, because these are our direct customers. But at the same time, we are doing some program for corporate guys, because what we offer corporates to use startup power. At the same time, startups can use some employees from the corporates. So we will offer some program for exchanging expertise between startups and corporates. So corporate guys, investors, startup founders.
So
all these guys are welcome.
The white collar crowd.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I hope you will definitely share your expertise with us at the summit, and we will try to make this market develop faster together.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, and I wish a nice day to everyone. I hope to see you all in Basel, November 23rd, 24th, and have a good one. Take care.